Imagine you move from a place where you lived all your life. Imagine you move and you leave all your children and wife. Starting all over again, but no one you know is around. Well, they didn't have to imagine. They built it up from the ground. How does it sound? Not easy because it isn't. Could have praised them, but it didn't. But the Ray Bond, that's a winner. And they ran straight to the finish. You get to know them up close and personal. Wait, just give me a minute. Welcome to the front row. Can I get a drum roll? Intentional. We may be immigrants, but we are still intentional. We are dependable. It's just that set the bar, but still the best of all. We are intentional.
Welcome to the Intentional Immigrants Podcast. Here we look at immigrants and their journeys to settle in a new, unfamiliar place. They, as pioneers, have embarked on uncharted territories so that you will be able to share in their trials, challenges, joys, and triumphs. We will learn from them so that you will not make the same mistakes. If you are a new immigrant, take hope. There is light at the end of your tunnel. You are not alone. Others have gone before you, and they have left a light for you to see. Today's guests are Sulagna and Raj. They are the owners and operators of Yes by Indian Kitchen, located in Dildo, Newfoundland. They have been featured on CBC Radio and in the Telegram newspaper. Sulagna and Raj are originally from the country of India. Here are some interesting facts about India. India was a former British colony. It gained its independence on August 15, 1947. Its population is approximately over 1 billion people. Its capital is New Delhi. There are several languages. Its national language is Hindi, which is also the primary tongue of 30% of the people. English enjoys associate status, but is the most important language for national, political, and commercial communication. There are 14 other official languages. Its flag colors are 3 equal horizontal bands of saffron, orange at the top, white in the middle, and green at the bottom. There is a blue chakra, that's a 24-spoked wheel, centered in the white band. Let us listen to our famous guests, Sulagna and Raj.
I will begin. Journey to Canada is like, for a long time we wanted to come to Canada. The main reason being it resonated with our philosophy, the culture, the ideas, and that was our main reason to come to Canada. And finally, in 2016, I came to Canada. Raj came in 2014. So
he came before you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Tell us about that, Raj.
Well, I came to Canada 2014 January, straight from Abu Dhabi, so from sand to snow, because that time in January it was pretty much snowing. I think I landed on 2nd or 3rd of January, and it was a place called Castlegar, which is infamously known as Cancelgar, because 8 out of 10 times the flights don't land that airport. It's like in a valley because it's surrounded by mountains, so the fog becomes so thick in winter, and that airport doesn't have the sort of guided system. So if the pilots can't see the runway, they turn back and head back. Anyway, so I was lucky enough that day was a clear day, so I did land on that day. And that's the first encounter for me with snow. Other than there was once before in my life in India, we did go to a hill station. But anyway, so that's how the day started. And then I came in as a student. So that was another journey, because at that juncture in my life, I was, I think, 37, 39, probably. And going back to college was another experience for sure.
And it's a different culture as well.
Right, different culture, a college life, and till then I was every day I would wear suit to go to work, and then here I am now wearing what is it, toque and jeans. All that. It was a very different experience for sure, but nonetheless very enjoyable. I mean, it was not at all intimidating. I felt in my head I was really nervous because imagining going back to college with teenage just was not. Well, I didn't expect it to be any fun, but it did turn out to be fun. So that's how it started. And then 2 years of college happened. I finished luckily with good grades, I would say. And then I was also lucky to get job immediately.
What did you study in college?
I did my postgraduate hospitality.
Hospitality, okay. Yeah. You already have a first degree in hospitality already, right?
Right.
Okay, so you just came here. Okay.
Right. And I just did the postgrad hospitality program, and because of hospitality, maybe I'm not sure. So getting job was not very difficult, and that is also when we focused on working in places which are smaller. So I worked in. I didn't go to Vancouver or Calgary or Toronto, big cities. I rather focused on small cities.
Okay.
And that was a good strategy, I guess, because it worked in my favor. I was able to get management positions in smaller hotels. So that, and it helped me with my PR process as well. So my immigration process or permanent residency happened really quick because of that. So I was able to do the express entry and all that. And then of course Sulagna joined me in 2016.
Okay. All right. So before we continue with this part of the interview, thank you for sharing with us. Have you had the chance to return home?
Yes, we both returned home, I think.
A couple of times we have.
Okay.
Every few years we go there. So, yeah.
Okay. Good to hear. What do you miss most about India?
I think good food.
Food.
I mean, it's difficult to get the really tasty, good Indian food here.
Yes. Okay. So the food most, same thing for you, right?
Oh yes, yeah. I love food. So getting that, and in India especially, because there are so many different cultures, there's so much of variety. Here in Canada, of course, there are Indian restaurants, and there are, but most of that Indian restaurants and food scene is more from the north of India, whereas I'm from the south of India. She's from east of India, so South Indian food or East Indian or Bengali kind of food, that is not very common. It's not.
Okay.
So when you go to Indian restaurants here, 90% is basically food from the north of India, which is good. But that is not the only type of food you get. So when I miss food from India, what I miss most is that variety. It's food from my part, food from her part.
Our street food. So they're really delicious.
Yes.
That's the reason we started our food takeout.
Right.
Okay, that's good. You miss the food so much that you actually came here and you're doing your own restaurant.
Oh, right.
Okay, we'll get into that in a little bit. What place or activity would you recommend to someone visiting your country for the first time? A must see, must have, must experience.
I think must see, I would say that, India is a huge country, and I think the 7th largest in the world or something like that. So it has a lot to see, must-sees. But if I have to choose only one or two, I would say maybe something like, everybody go and see Taj Mahal. So I will not recommend that because that's everybody do. What I can see of is The Ladakh, which is in the northern part of India, it's a beautiful heaven on earth place.
Okay.
The backwaters of Kerala, which is again another beautiful, geographically beautiful. And then maybe the Sundarbans, which are the mangrove forest in the Bay of Bengal. These three, I think, are something people shouldn't miss.
Okay. Raj, do you agree with, or do you have other places that you think?
No, I mean, what she mentioned is absolutely perfect. Like, I mean, those are the stunning places. Now, this is over and above the fact that people, as she said, if somebody's going for the first time to India, then obviously Taj Mahal and the adjoining forts of Rajasthan, those will be, or the Golden Triangle as it is known, is what would be the top of their list. So,
and for activity, I would say, living with the locals, like Airbnb or something, you get to know the people. Because India is if you see it from the surface, it's a third world country, a lot of problems. But if you can understand the soul, which you can understand through the people, then you will enjoy it most.
You will enjoy it more. Okay, thank you.
The other thing to note is if somebody wants to go to India, they should pick a time more like a festival time, because during festivals, I mean, and in India there's a ton of festivals, almost pretty much every month of the year there's something in some part of India, right? So if they choose to go during a festival time, and especially the bigger ones like Diwali or Holi, Diwali, or Eid or Christmas, anyway, then they could see a lot more color and a lot more variety in food, because there are few things that happen specifically during festivals. And the vibrancy and all that. So, of course, that also comes with its own crowd and its own hassles, but still, so that's another suggestion.
Okay. To go during a festival. Okay.
Correct.
All right. So let's get back to your business now. Tell us about your restaurant.
It's not a restaurant as such. It's more an Indian food takeout. Although we have like 3 tables here where people can sit and have food. And this is located in Dildo, which is in Newfoundland. And Dildo is now very famous thanks to Jimmy Kimmel and his late night shows. He made it famous, and he is now the honorary mayor of this place, actually.
Okay.
And that made it a very highly sought after touristic place. So, people really come here a lot. And we also have a microbrewery, which is very famous, the Dildo Brewery. So, we get a lot of tourists, and so that's why we have other people sitting also, because they have not a place to sit, right? And they want to sit and have food.
Mm-hmm.
We are looking at catering to the locals as well as the tourists, and home style food and more gourmet type, so not a lot in the menu, like 5 to 7 yes.
Okay, it's good. So you are offering Indian takeout food.
Right.
Do you have any other Indian restaurants there?
No, and this is how it came up. The business plan came up. When we came here, we first didn't want to start a business right away because, funding and other things come into mind at that time. It's a lot of things, right? So we initially wanted to work. Unfortunately, in Newfoundland, there's not much work jobs available. So we decided if we don't get a job, instead of moving to a more immigrant-friendly places like Toronto or big cities, why not create our own jobs?
Okay.
here, right? Because it's important to help the economy here as well, And it's such
Yeah.
a beautiful place, the Newfoundland. We never knew that it's so beautiful. And the people are so nice. It's unthinkable.
Okay. Thank
So
you. Mm-hmm.
we
Go
started
ahead.
here. So we tried did some SWOT analysis, some market research to find out what are our skill sets matching the demand. And what we realized is there is no Indian food, not only Indian food, there's not much choice of food rather than fish and chips or fried food within 80 kilometers circumference. And people are really looking for some options. So there's a huge demand and scope, and that we utilize that started this.
Okay. How did you, the place that you're in Newfoundland, what's the name of the place again? What's the name of the location? Dill?
DILDO.
Okay, okay. How did you find that location?
Oh, that's a very interesting story. We went to Eleanor Lake camping and met with some Newfoundland people from Newfoundland.
This is in Alberta.
Alberta.
Oh, so when you were in Alberta, you met with some Newfoundlanders.
Yeah. When
Okay.
we were in Fort Mac, we went for a camping there in Eleanor Lake area, camping. And they told us, and we were like talking, and we said our dream is to retire on a waterfront villa, these sort of things. And they told us that they have a friend who is selling a house here, and it's extremely economical, the price they mentioned. And we were like, house in this amount? So then it turned out that in Newfoundland, housing is good, very, very
affordable.
Yes, affordable.
Yes.
So what we did, we were planning to go to Edmonton in Kananaskis Resort for a week-long trip. So what we did, instead of going there, we canceled it and came here to look
Okay.
at the house.
Right.
But that house was somewhere in the west, and it was a nice house, but not your dream house.
About 3 hours from St. John's, the main city, right?
Okay, okay.
But then the realtor within 2-3 days showed us this house, which we bought, is in Dildo. And Dildo is like an hour's drive from the main capital. So it's easy access to the main St. John's. And this house is so beautiful, you cannot say no. And that's how we landed up buying this property and moving here.
Okay, okay. That's good. How long after meeting those Newfoundlanders did you go out on your adventure?
We met them in last year, August, right? No.
Yeah.
Around August.
Yeah.
August. And then once we bought the house and we went back to Fort Mac, we started missing it so badly that we said, no, it's no point. So,
and we moved in November.
November.
Well, we left October. We drove from Fort Mac to Newfoundland. So that's another 10 days of driving.
Across Canada.
Across Canada, literally.
Almost, yes.
And then we reached here on 1st of November last year.
Okay, okay. So when you came, it had started snowing by that time?
No, it doesn't snow so early here. It was snowing in Fort Mac for the time we left.
Right.
But here, it doesn't snow before December. So we really enjoyed another few months of greenery.
Correct.
Oh, because right now we have snow going on.
I remember also when we landed here, snow was kind of following us because the day we left on 22nd October in Fort Mac, that evening it snowed, but we had left. And then as we moved along, it did follow us a little while and then it stopped. So I remember sending pictures from here even in November, December to my colleagues in Fort Mac. who were like, knee down in snow there. So we were really enjoying those days. Of course, that did come back to us in the form of Snowmageddon. Here, there was this snowfall that they never saw in the last 25 years. So
Whoa.
we were really greeted to that in first week of January.
There was a blizzard happened here.
Correct.
And everything really stopped, and they had a really challenging year last year. And sort of snow, even old people are saying they never seen in their lifetime. So
yeah, our driveway, we had like 5 feet of snow. 5 feet.
Whoa.
We were holding for at least 4 days. We could luckily open the front door, but that's about it. We couldn't go out of because the driveway was totally covered in 5 feet of snow. So finally, I think after 3-4 days, we did trench ourselves out. Then, it took us almost 2 weeks, I guess, before we could clear the whole
snow finally followed us.
Wow, that must have been an experience for you guys.
Oh yes, in a new place, and totally.
That's your baptism by fire or by snow. Okay. All right. So your business, Raj, you got involved in this business. Is it a result of training? I know you have training in it, but is it training, interest, or hobby? How did you really become involved in the hospitality industry?
In terms of the industry, I like people. Like I like conversations, and I like meeting people. So, and it is very natural for me to sort of, get engaged with people. And that hospitality gives you that option, right? And I was always at the front end. So like I was managing the hotel, I was managing front office. So it's always been at the front end of things. So it was natural for me to be associated with this industry. And then this project, of course, as Sulagna mentioned before, wasn't a planned project initially, because although at the back of our minds, we did want it to start a business of our own, and preferably a cafe, because she had her project as a cafe, and I did my project as a cafe. So that was at the back of our minds for sure.
Yeah, like my MBA is in international business.
Okay.
And my business plan was a cafe. Same with his hospitality dissertation was on a cafe, right?
Correct.
So
we did have that at the back of our minds, that, and also I remember telling Sulagna way back, I said that the moment I turned to 40, 45, in that range, I wanted to switch over to an entrepreneurial direction in my life from doing a job. So it was all there at the back of the mind. But this project started more like a need, in the sense we initially came, still wanted to work, have a job, but things didn't really go in that direction very well. So we did, end up doing this. So.
And also, I would like to add here that the government has a lot of support for self-employment here.
Okay.
We got the funding. Although initially our project was bigger and COVID-19 downsized it, we didn't get that funding. But at least they trusted us because we are new to business. But they could trust us with our business plan and could provide us with some funding, as well as there are other assistance within the state government. So, for the provincial government as well as the central, central government. So there is a lot of scope and support for people who want to get into business, do something of their own. So that really helped.
Okay. That's very good. Very good that you're able to get the support that you need and that you're able to, venture out on your own and do your own thing. So that's beautiful. All right. Share an experience with us that blew you away in terms of the impact of your product or service. In your case, it's a service. Do you have any products that...
Not really.
No, just service. Okay.
So, see, we started this very recently, like in August, we started our business. It's like 2.5 months.
Okay.
Now, within the first month, we didn't do a lot of marketing, a little bit of Facebook page, and that we really got a good response. And then some of the customers who visited us and they really liked our food, and they're like some influential customers. Didn't tell us they're influential at that time, but what blew our mind with the incident that suddenly we received call from the Telegram, which is the largest and oldest newspaper in Newfoundland, and just calling for interview. We were like, what, is this a scam? Then we also got a call from the producer from CBC Radio, which is the #1 radio here, asking for us to do CBC radio program with dead plates on the go. And these things were so much, awesome, I would say, that helped to... Now everybody in this province almost know us. We almost have become celebrity in the sense people come to our food takeout and say, so you were in Fort Mac, right? Oh, you are large, right? I mean, they know us so well. And that's another feeling because, we are so new here, only 2 of us without knowing anybody.
Right.
But because of these, and I would say that people really like our food. And if you go to our Facebook page, you will see the comments. They're really good. And the recommendations. So I think that really helped. And these incidents, like our customers came and they really connected with the radio, connected with the newspaper, and they contacted us. That, I think, is something we never thought it will happen within a month of our starting the business.
Yeah, that it's really good growth.
Right. So,
and that really helped because the customers, that really gave a positive influence on our service. Because people, like for example, in summer, I mean, people are like flocking in just to, taking selfies with our logo in front of our restaurant. It was really a good feeling.
That's good. That's beautiful. All right. Share a difficulty and the lessons learned as a result of that experience.
So, I mean, as Sulagna mentioned, so one side we had this tremendous publicity, you could say, or the fact that CBC and Herald almost back to back they projected our stories. And then what happened to that was suddenly there was this lot of traffic that came in our direction. Now, when we opened in August, we were not planned, or we didn't plan for that kind of a traffic because we, as she said, we didn't know anybody, right? So the only marketing we did was the Facebook marketing.
Mm-hmm.
We were not expecting that kind of a footfall or a traffic in our direction. So when people started coming, and then there were days when, you have these back-to-back people who almost line up, right? To line up in the sense like I would have 7, 8, 10 orders back to back, and it was just me and her, and so there was that waiting time. They would wait almost 40 minutes, 45 minutes waiting time for people to get their food or get their orders, and that was a learning for us, because for sure that created a lot of stress for sure, right? On our product, on our service, on ourselves. Like we were here, they were almost throughout the summer. We would start the day like 7 or 8 in the morning, 6:37, then we would probably leave at midnight, at 12, at 2 in the morning, like really, really long days. Because a lot of times you make the food and the next day within 4 hours, the food's almost done. Like it's sold out kind of. So that's the learning for sure. So that's what we are trying to encapsulate in our plan for next year summer. That we need to keep that in mind. We need to be cognizant that summer is a different ballgame. It's not like winter. We need to have that preparation and understanding, and so that the customers don't wait, because that's something we
have enough product available.
Yes.
We have enough product.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I'm happy that you were blown away by that experience, and that really reinforced that you do have a good product or a good service that you offer to people, because the product really is getting Indian food, and that's the market that you're serving, people who are interested in Indian food.
Correct. Serving Indian food to non-Indians, actually.
And non-Indian. Oh, you do non-Indian as well?
No, I mean,
non-Indians.
Our food is Indian food, but then our customers, 99%
non-Indians
are not Indian customers, or even Asian, right? Asian-based customers. And in fact, in Newfoundland, there's even a saying that the local community, or the palate they are used to, is more like salt, fish, and potato. That's their palate. So everybody is really surprised as well to hear an Indian food takeout in Dildo, where the community is predominantly used to salt fish and
beef and
potato,
jigs
right?
dinner. Here the usual food is the local food is jigs dinner and salt beef and these sort of things,
Okay.
But at the same time, people are very happy that we have come here and we have opened this, and they keep telling us that please don't go, please don't close. We need diversity here. We need more options here. So they are really nice and trying to help in whatever way they can. Like they said that we want to help local businesses in Christmas. So if you have gift cards, please give it to us. These sort of ways they want to help.
Local community is absolutely great here. I mean, without them, we would not have survived. As that word of mouth publicity, that's purely what the local community here and the travelers have done. Right? So
okay.
Our success definitely is because of it.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. What's your personal philosophy or mantra?
I think what is important for us is chasing your dream no matter what.
Okay. You want to expound on that a little bit, especially because we are geared towards immigrants. You know that when you come to a new place, sometimes it can be overwhelming. And you don't know anyone, you don't know how to function in this new environment, new society. And for a lot of immigrants, they have a lot of fears. So you want to tell us about expound on chasing your dreams, no matter what. Because you came from India, experienced snow, and you had the courage to start your own business in a new country.
In a new place.
Yeah.
Knowing nobody.
But I think, and Sulagna is right, because when we started, I mean, our interest in Canada was spiked way back in 2002, probably.
I will talk about that,
right.
Because as you mentioned, because this is about intentional immigrants, right?
Yeah.
So then the first thing which I think is important is, and we both think is important, is choosing the country, right? If you are intentionally migrating to another country, what you're looking there, it should be a two-way process. Like it should be you adding value to the country and country is receiving some value from it. If it is like only one person, it becomes very selfish, right?
Yeah.
So that is very important. And as he mentioned that we started our journey in 2004. We applied in 2004 for immigration, and we did not, like, afterward we were waiting almost 10 years.
Whoa.
Our application was scrapped because at that time Canada decided they had huge backlog and they cannot cope up with so many applications. So without anything, it was scrapped.
Whoa.
So you lose money, energy, time, everything.
Everything, yeah.
Absolutely. But then we stuck to this because we realized that the philosophy which Canada resonated with us, right? That's important. And I think that's why we are where we are today. Because we realized that coming to Canada is not about coming to another country, but realizing the philosophy like the equality, the democracy, women empowerment, these sort of modern philosophy which
important
Canada,
values for you.
exactly. So Canada, you can connect with Canada. That's what we like, and that's why we came here. This open society, these things we like. So once you like something and go for that, then the result is always positive.
Now, when the fact that chase your dreams no matter what. So the dream was there, right, for us to come to Canada, and as she said, that we picked Canada because it resonated with our belief system. But the no matter what, that's the key, because when we found out that after 10 years our application was scrapped, we didn't have much option. But then I left a good paying job back in Abu Dhabi and came in as a student, right? Then when you come in as a student, of course, I couldn't work for 2 years. So now she stayed back. So we got, after, that was the first time in our life that we stayed separate for almost 2 years across globe with different time zones, almost a 12-hour time zone difference. And then so that she could work and support me while I was studying, right? So that was the no matter what. Then the other thing was the fact that we chose really small communities in Canada. We did not flock to bigger metros here in Canada, like, as I said, Toronto, Calgary, because we thought that for our purposes, it made sense to stay in smaller community. So we processed that. So that was our no matter what thing. We stayed and focused on our dreams.
So I would say two or three things which I would say to get rid of the fear and other unknown situation for the immigrants is embrace the new culture, mix with people from different background.
Yeah.
Don't stick only to your community, because then you can stay back at your home and enjoy, right? Other culture, other people, so you understand others' perspective, and that really helps, because if you open, others will open. Then you no more find it an unknown place. You suddenly find everybody is nice and friendly with you.
Yes.
Because the other side also doesn't know you, right? So they also have a similar fear, maybe.
Yes, yes.
That goes, and then things become really easy. It's not about like someone is not trusting you for a job because you are because of your color or you're from where. It's because maybe they don't know you. So once they know you, they trust you. And this happened with me, in a small place in Rossland. Remember, I went for a B2B business. Before that, I was applying to jobs. Nobody is taking me. I got interviews and I was not getting anything. In small communities, you realize people will only take you if they trust you, they know you.
Yeah.
It's not because who I am, what I am. So what happened when I met with that B2B conference and I came to know about the people there, I communicated with them, I did my networking, they just accepted me. And I really got that opening. So that's important, I think, for immigrants, that we open up and we mix with people so that, they get to know each other, and, that trust build up is happen there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Recommend a must read. A book you've read before, a book that helped you in your business life or in your personal life. Recommend a must read.
I mean, if I would say, or I benefited a lot when I read and read the Seven Habits book by Stephen Covey.
Stephen Covey. Okay.
And also participated in the program now because it was through my company. That
Okay.
time.
Okay, cool.
And the company had adopted that philosophy, so it wanted some of its managers and executives to go through that program, which they had. So I would definitely recommend that, and especially from a business perspective, it's really helpful.
Okay.
Having certain foundational good habits helps as a business person, especially to be, to be focused and grounded at all times, because the business comes in waves, right? It comes in these ebbs and the valley, the peaks and valleys. So being focused helps. So that book really gave a direction in that respect.
Okay. Thank you. Sue, do you have a book you want to share with us?
I think what you said, that's one of the books which comes up in mind. But I have positive articles and also anything positive always helps, in my opinion.
Okay.
Who is the writer and what is it? Whether it's a book or an article, whatever. But the positivity really helps when you are venturing in unknown.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. I have my last question. Share a morning routine that has helped you well. A morning routine or ritual which has helped you well.
Well, I think our day begins the day before.
So be prepared, yes. Yeah. Be proactive, yes.
Yeah. So what really helped us in our life is to plan the day the night before.
Okay.
And we have a task board where we write our task. So we know exactly what we do the next day and how we do it. So that really helps if you have a structure and a plan for the day. So that we normally follow, and that really helps. A few other things in Canada especially is in the morning, I always make sure I check the weather.
Okay.
So that you can plan your day accordingly, dress accordingly. It all helps.
Yes, yes.
And the news.
And the news. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. It was good having you on the podcast today. I really enjoyed speaking with you both. How can my listeners make contact with you?
The best way is we have a Facebook page.
Okay. Facebook.
By the name of our food outlet, which is Yes by Indian Kitchen of Dildo. So anybody can reach us through that. They can message us from that. They can also write to us. We have an email with the same name without any gap, like Yes by Indian Kitchen of Dildo @gmail.com. I think these are the two best ways they can reach us.
Okay. Can I ask you to spell it for those who are listening? Just spell the name of the email.
Okay. So it is Y for Yankee, E for Echo, S for Sugar, B for Boy, Y for Yankee, I for India, and it is INDIA, the word for India. Indian, and then there's an N at the end. So Yes by Indian Kitchen, KITCHEN, Kitchen of Dildo, D for dog, I for India, L for Lima, D for dog, and O for Oliver. So that's Yes by Indian Kitchen of Dildo @gmail.com.
Okay. Thank you. All right. It was my pleasure having you both on today. And thank you for sharing your experience, sharing your learnings, and giving us some of your wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to the following persons and websites: Sulagna and Raj of Yes by Indian Kitchen, Xavier Anderson for providing music. Facts about India were found on www.contrafacts.com. Information on the flag was found on www.flagsworld.org. Until next time, I am your host, Yolanda Jack, reminding you, he who watches the wind will not sow, he who watches the clouds will not reap. Ecclesiastes 11 verse 4. You were born for greatness. Step out into your greatness so that mankind can benefit from you being here. So long, until next time.
Welcome to the front row. Can I get a drum roll? Intentional. We may be immigrants, but we are still intentional. We are dependable. It's just that set the bar, but still a